Now I got to go to Joe Biden, who's fallen apart in front of your eyes. He's not going to be their nominee. I know you can all play back the tape. I cannot imagine he will be their nominee. He went to a Philadelphia rally yesterday. Cut number 3.
Now, a lot of Philadelphians know this because I got so much help when I was running for the Senate in Delaware from Philly.
Of course, that makes no sense. What he's trying to say is, many of you crossed the river and campaigned for me. But it makes no sense. Cut number 4.
I promised we'd start to reconnect black and brown and overlooked neighborhoods cut off by highways in the 60s and decades of disinvestment as a consequence of it, including here in Philly. Well, we're changing that with the Recovery Act. Right now, you see all the construction going on the highways around here.
You know, the brain freezes are obvious. They are continuing, and he's trying to trade credit for construction on the highways. Cut number 5.
I promised to access affordable high-speed internet because now internet is just as important as it was in the days of Franklin Roosevelt. Electricity was generations ago. We're delivering now because no child should have to do their homework at McDonald's when things are shut down. Sit in the parking lot.
All right, I got to ask you, do you really think internet is important as electricity? Do you really think that electricity is the same as the internet? Joe Biden just said it was, and he said children have to do their homework at McDonald's to get high-speed internet. I suppose that's true. I don't know any of them. Internet is everywhere. I mean, everywhere. There are libraries with it. If you don't want it in your home, you can't afford for it in your home. I don't know why we should pay for it for you. There are places to go, like the public library. But Joe Biden is courting the black vote today. Cut number 6.
Supreme Court blocked me from relieving student debt, but they didn't stop me.
The Supreme Court stopped me, but they didn't stop me because I'm acting without regard to the law. Cut number 7.
We'll never forget lying around and him lying around, actually.
I have no idea. Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea? Let's play it again. Cut number 7.
We'll never forget lying around and him lying around, actually.
I really hope you're watching on the Salem News Channel this morning because this poor, befuddled, very old man can't read a teleprompter. Cut number 8. This one's a stunner.
On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man.
Huh? Again, please?
On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man.
You know, I don't know why it is either an occasion of pride or an occasion of embarrassment to stand with your fellow Americans, regardless of their color, their race, their gender. I don't know what he was saying. I only get clips because that's the way Grabian works. But honestly, this is nuts. Now more on the HBCU Delaware State. Cut number 9.
One of the reasons I got started and won the first time and subsequent times in Delaware is because of the best HBCU in America, Delaware State. Kamala says there's some school down in Washington.
All right, that is obviously the vice president went to Howard University, historically black university in Washington, D.C., but it's pandering, and you know why he's doing this is because he's losing 20% of the black vote, and he's just, let's go to cut number 10.
Black voters place enormous faith in me. I've tried to do my best to honor that trust, staying true to the values set that we share. It got me involved as a kid in the first place.
Got me involved in kids in the first place, cut number 11.
And so I got involved as a kid in the civil rights movement because the Philadelphians know this, at least the older ones do. Delaware was the only city in the state in the nation, Wilmington the only city in America, occupied by the military for 9 months after Dr. King was assassinated.
Joe Biden was not involved in the civil rights movement. He was not. All right? He has done this dozens of times. He was not. He lies every time he says that. Then he goes to the campaign office, cut number 12.
Like I said, in 1969, I got involved deeply in the civil rights movement. Those who are Pennsylvanians know that Delaware used to be a slave state and a southern state in its attitudes. I mean, for real. We have the 8th largest black population as a percent of population of any state in the nation. And one of the things that amazed me was how the community stepped up when you gave it a shot.
Joe Biden was 27 years old in 1969. We don't have any pictures. We don't have any tape. All we have is Joe Biden repeatedly saying he was involved in the civil rights movement, maybe with corn pop. He's just not telling you the truth. Cut number 15.
My dad moved us back down to where he had been raised in Wilmington. He was raised in Baltimore, then Wilmington. His father moved to Wilmington. And we moved down to Claymont, Delaware. Some of you know Claymont. It's about a good long driver from here. And
just wandering. And you know, I loved my father. And when he was 80 years old, he would do this. I was trying to figure out what he did in the war. Ever ask your dad or your granddad what they did in the war? And they'll give you a long rolling soliloquy, if they'll talk at all, that won't actually tell you where they were and when. I know basically got pulled out of Oberlin, sent to West Virginia to become a dentist, and they gave up that program, and they sent him to build a fort in Massachusetts, and he trained across the country, and he went to the Philippines, and from the Philippines he went to invade Japan, but luckily Harry Truman dropped the nuclear bomb, so he just occupied Japan. I have no idea when, how, dates, months. His brother was flying fortresses as a navigator, bay bomber, bay gunner. His other brother was flying over the hump. I have no idea where they were. You know, they just wander, and you can't pin them down. I said, Dad, we're going to do a deposition, and he agreed, but he wouldn't. He can't stay fixed. When you're 82 years old, you can't actually deliver chronology. It's one of the things that you lose. All right, one more Joe Biden. He's at the Biden-Harris field office in Baltimore. Why? They're campaigning in Baltimore? I'll tell you why, because he's back at the beach.
Campaign office.
Cut number 16.
And look at all that's been changed. For example, you know, the bridge went down over the Chesapeake, and we were there the next day. It was the governor.
He did not go the next day. He did not. He didn't
couldn't remember the name of the bridge.
He doesn't know the name of the bridge, but look, it's a terrible, terrible thing to be 82 and run for president, because when you're 82, you should be watching baseball, playing with your grandkids, having them bring you things, having a morning cup of coffee, talking to your spouse if you're blessed with long life and your spouse is as well. And this is not a campaign. I saw a picture of the high school gym, which was mostly empty. Then he went to a Biden-Kamala Harris campaign headquarters. That's not campaigning. That's the appearance of campaigning, and it's incoherent.